And we're live.
All right, all right. Buenos noches. Me llamo es DJ Steph.
Oh
Soy
yeah.
de Hartford. ¿Cómo
Yo,
estás?
you so silly and you haven't even smoked yet. So we're here live for our second, off location night. But we're back at Quality versus Quantity CDB, aka local market. So and Brian will come over shortly. So but in the meantime, we're here with Andre Rochester. He's an artist from the greater Hartford area, and I'm really excited to have him here. He, does a lot with his art, and it's always something very interesting to watch on Facebook because, in his own way, he's using his passion for activism. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. So,
Yes.
for those of you who see me out in the public and out on TV and all that stuff lately this year, if you didn't think I smoked, you're gonna learn today. so, yeah, I do partake every now and then. I am a social enjoyer of cannabis. But anyway, back to the other subject at hand, which is artwork. Thank you for that great introduction. I am an artist. I let other people call me an activist because I don't feel like I've quite earned the title just yet. However, my work has been used in activist activities. And so, what I can talk about is how art is used for activism, how art can inspire activism and stuff like that. Um, it's something that I'm very passionate about. I've been a painter since I was a little kid, so this is right up my alley. Talking art, sitting here, chilling, and having this kind of conversation, and I'm very happy that I can sit here and do an interview on a podcast, and I don't have to be all formal. I can just kind of be myself. I can just chill, relax. I've had a long day, yo, so that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna enjoy myself with my peoples, and here we are.
As I get my camera straight.
Oh yeah,
Does
you can
anyone
do
else
that.
need to
You
use my
can have
Zippo?
it.
Yes, I need a light. Thank you.
All right, so everyone's gonna be paid something different, I
Yo,
guess.
she got the fancy lighting to this. Fancy.
I've had it for years, so I got to refill it again, I think, but it should light up.
Right, we're back.
Let me close that before I burn myself. Oh, there he is. Besides back.
Yep.
Oh, he was gone.
Yeah, yeah, his camera went off for a second.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I'm not sure.
I experienced a malfunction. Sometimes these old phones don't want to cooperate.
You know what? I feel that. I have an iPhone 11 actually. So,
Need to
what
update that
exactly
phone,
did
homie.
you paint when you were little, Andre? Did you just
Damn.
paint
So,
anything, or?
so I started off as mainly drawing. Like I was doing drawings in color pencil and pastel, and I did a little watercolor stuff in high school. It was just basic stuff. I used to do like cartoon characters and things like that. Like I wasn't doing masterpieces by any means, but I was at a point where I was exploring. I'll put it to you that way. And through that exploration, I started to get really good at it. Started to get like a lot of great feedback on my artwork, and that's really what drove me to want to be a professional. So it's cartoon characters, pictures out of magazines, people in class. There's a couple classmates that I had out there who I would draw them while they were sleeping in math class. Some of y'all might remember. I'm not gonna name no names, but one of whose last name is Lawrence. I'll leave it at that. but
See, now I gotta look in the yearbook,
yeah,
which I am
yeah.
gonna do.
Well, I mean, y'all are connected on Facebook. So.
Oh, oh.
Oh damn, I said too much, man. I said too much. It's all
Oh,
right. We grown now.
oh boy.
We grown now. I think she might have taken some of my drawings
Oh,
too.
oh, you already answered the question too.
Yeah, I did. I put it out there. But those are the things that I used to do in class. I wasn't a bad student, so I was able to get my work done and all of that. So
So how is it being able to, you're a professional artist now. So this is how is it like being able to paint and make money off something you love? And what's it feel like giving away a painting?
Well, giving away a painting is not something that I do anymore.
Or like
Because
what?
people ask me for stuff all the time. So giving away my paintings, if I did it to everybody who asked, then I wouldn't have no paintings to sell. But to get to a point where I can sell a painting and somebody like likes it enough
Mm-hmm.
to want to spend a significant amount of money on my work, it feels awesome. Like I love it.
Oh yeah, because I know like when my cat had kittens, I'm like, oh, I didn't want to give it up. So I'm wondering if it's the same thing with a painting.
Sometimes it is. I can get attached to my work. Um, yeah, I'm like anybody else. You spend a lot of time on something and you build that little attachment to it, and you don't want to let it go because you've now had this experience with that thing, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm experimenting with different ideas. I'm developing stuff. I'm problem solving, right? So when you finish a painting, that's like you just solved
Yeah.
you figured something out that was really cool and you executed on that, right? And so you want to celebrate. But then when somebody likes it and they're like, yo, let me purchase it, and it's like, oh wait, hold up, I was good enough to inspire this person. And now they want to keep it. Now they want to, they want to have that conversation with other people who I might not be exposed to, people I may not know, right? And so now my message, whatever I put into that painting, that's getting spread.
I like that.
So yeah,
That's sad.
that's one of my favorite experiences with painting is that confirmation that I've actually accomplished the goal that I set out to get done.
Yeah, you seem very intentional about your work. I know that a lot of activists have actually purchased this one painting that you have
Yeah,
on a shirt a lot of times.
that's next in line.
Yeah,
And
so tell us about it.
that painting was done in 2016. Took a little too much. That painting was done in 2016, and it was at a time. It was a time when still happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time actually seeing the video, and up until that point, I didn't watch them, and I made it a point not to. But something said, Andre, you got to do this. You have to actually see what happens to these people. And it's not that I didn't care up until that point, because I certainly did. I was very moved by everything that was
I
happening. But
actually don't watch the videos
yeah,
myself because I
it's
watch
traumatic.
enough of them.
It's traumatic, and I watched both, and after witnessing somebody on video, taking their last breath, one of them in front of their child, and I think it was his fiance.
Mm-hmm.
It really stuck with me, like really fucked me up. So I needed a way to express myself and to acknowledge those stuff happening and to put it out there, put some kind of message out there. Just ask the question: is this person gonna be next in line? And that's where next in line came from. It's a child holding a teddy bear. They're holding on to their innocence. And they have a target on a white T-shirt. And they have a white blindfold behind them. Like so there's a police. I did that. Also a bit disturbing. I wanted people to move by that. And quite still happen.
I have.
I'm glad that you put it there. So everybody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Something I said about. Um, I'll tell you a story. So, so he's um, um, that was and he's
Hard thing to do. And It's-
So, you witnessed that.
They fell victims fatality situation, but it happened, and it was terrible knowing that somebody had to go through that kind of trauma, and even worse when there's people around who aren't really trying that hard to do anything. Um, and that's not just witnesses; that's the people, the powers that be, who know the shit is wrong and aren't doing anything about it. And it's very frustrating to see that happen. As a black man having to have to at some point be subjected to this, or feel as though at some point they'll be subjected to this, and then see it happen to somebody that's close, and kind of understand their pain, and then also in the same token be a bit helpless. It is terrible. Um, I've also been the victim of police misconduct. I've been harassed by police before, and there's a lot of people like myself who have had that experience too. Um, I moved out of a certain town here in Connecticut because I got tired of being harassed by police, and I I refused to ever live there again for that reason.
Is it Manchester?
No, actually, it's not Manchester. In the
But
area though.
yeah,
It's
not
in the area.
shocking that I would say Manchester.
No, not shocking at all. Unfortunately, I mean Manchester has had that reputation, so
It's actually
call it what it is.
so Kev on stage recently, I guess his promoter's been fucking up.
Mm.
So he sat there and tweeted, "Oh, I'm having like I had no ticket sales in Connecticut." So,
I just saw that earlier.
yeah, so he's obviously going to get ticket sales now. Congratulations to him. But I saw something that was in the comments referring to Manchester being Clanchester. It's like, yo, you're not in Hartford. You're actually in Manchester, and they call it Clanchester. So,
I mean, it's had that reputation since I was little.
yeah,
I used to live in Manchester for 9 years out of my childhood,
the Clan.
and it is the first place that I experienced racism at a very young age, and it wasn't somebody older, another child. Obviously, was taught that kind of behavior. And see exactly the things that are going on in Manchester right now, and
Oh, you mean the cake? Or no,
exactly.
the skinhead that showed up to a rally.
Mhm. And the intimidation stuff that was happening, trying to run over kids, right?
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that happened?
the
And
mom's
what was
from
that,
East Hartford.
2020? So
Yeah, remember I showed up alone to the house when they said there was a protest. I showed up like a couple hours early because I thought that I showed up at the wrong time.
and shout out to Corinne.
Yeah, I love her. That's that's when I met her. Like I went to church I went to church with her parents, right?
Oh, okay.
So I was actually baptized in their church.
So you know her for a while then.
No, I never met Corinne, just her parents. And her mother was a powerful figure. You have no idea. Like, she sat there and she told us, basically using the Bible, why it's our responsibility to go out and vote against a tyrant. Like, like Corinne was raised for this. Like, this was she was born for this. This was something. This is her destiny. Like, there is nothing that can stand against her, and there's so many things that may come at her. God protect her. She is an amazing person.
Yeah.
That night she stepped up. She immediately, like, she's like, listen, you still got to feed your kids. I got y'all pizza. She ended up organizing a rally with bikes and everything. It was
And let's talk about how many times she went out there daily.
by herself.
Daily. Sometimes by herself. You're right. Sometimes by herself on that corner.
That's how Be a Bike heard about her, because she was we heard about a lady protesting in Manchester by herself, that she built like a coalition of people.
Yeah, and she's still doing community work out there. And
oh no, she's still running the food pantry.
Yeah.
She's still doing Empower, like, she's still doing the after school program, like everything. And she got to work too. and she's still raising kids.
Yeah. Special kind of person to do that work.
Yo, and then on top of that, she got multiple sclerosis and shit, and she does all of it.
Mm. But
Oh,
yeah,
by the way,
shout out to the real activists out there who are doing this work and putting themselves on the line, putting their families on the line.
you know how many times she's been attacked?
Mm, too many, way too many.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, it's not just that; it's the threats on her life. They've damaged her property. It's and the thing is, though, she gets real frustrated and she keeps going.
Yeah, because she knows that there's a purpose. She knows the importance of all of this.
No, she was put on this earth like I know she sits there and says that she's white supremacy's worst nightmare, but you have no idea. You can tell from her mother, the way that her mother preached, and then the power that she brings, that there is something. It is her purpose, and God help anyone that stands against her, because she's a beautiful person who really does a lot.
So speaking of purpose, art to me is my purpose,
Oh,
and I had to
before
realize.
before we get into that,
Mm-hmm.
we got to cut for a commercial break for our
Okay.
sponsor. So everyone, here's our sponsor. We are brought to you by Kimura's Cultural Corner.
Shout out to KCC.
Practicing and living in community means that we're responsible to ourselves and others. It means that we're committed to engaging humbly and bravely with others who we may not agree with, but who share a similar worldview. Tensions and conflicts are gifts that allow us to grow together. Join our peaceful revolution.
All right, guys, we're back, and now Andre's going to get back into his purpose with art.
Yeah, so I was having this profound moment, and they had to pay the bills. So my purpose. Now I realize that art is my purpose, but it goes beyond just making pictures. It's about what you do with your art, what you do around your art. How can you create an impact with just being a creative person in your community? Um, and it took a while for me to really see the power of my own art, but I certainly knew that anything creative has the power to influence people on a different level. It's not just about a conversation. It's really tapping into their mindset. And then I started to see people using my artwork for stuff like the protests. Um, a lot of people were bootlegging my shit, but I
What you
didn't
mean?
care. Oh, there were some folks who had some things that I sell on my website, but they obviously didn't get it from my website. But that's not, I didn't care because of the use that it had. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What they were doing with it was powerful to me, and I didn't mind it. But that shows that my statements that I make resonate with people, and
It actually helped express a
it,
lot of emotion for a lot of people.
yeah, it creates that space for that, I guess. So
So now you started a new series you were telling me about. I don't know if you wanted to mention it, because it seems like you're moving in this really nice direction. And you had this new painting, like you wanted to send a message. Tell me about that.
So I've shifted my direction a little bit in my artwork to focusing on Black joy and understanding what it is, what it means, and really defining it for myself. Right? Black joy in itself is a form of resistance, and so for me to purposely look for reasons that we have to celebrate who we are as people, in spite of all of the shit that goes on, all these obstacles that we have to face as Black people, that's me really saying, you're not going to be able to take my happiness. You're not going to be able to take what makes me special. And through it all, we still have something to celebrate. Through it all, we still need to recognize that our story is not all doom and gloom. That's not our identity as a people. That's an experience as a people. And I'll still sprinkle some of the some of the social justice stuff in there because I see these things. I'm not blind, right? And I care about these things, but it'll just be done with a different approach.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
So,
Assad is a DJ.
I'm a musician. One of my mediums happens to be music. So, specifically in DJing, you want people to enjoy themselves, and you're the one giving that happiness.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of the innovations in DJing, as far as techniques and culture, come from the black experience. It comes from the dance halls of Jamaica. It comes from the discos of Chicago. It comes from house music. It comes from hip hop. All just to have a good time. You have a badass week, 6 days. It's Friday. You want to have a good time for at least a couple of hours.
You high as hell, huh?
I'm always high.
Right, because it's going on and over.
So yeah, I was getting to a point. But basically being able to paint that picture of joy.
Mm.
I'm excited to see it.
Well, it's going to be a whole series of work, man. So it's
You gotta check the 860 Facebook,
yeah.
bro. I
I
share
just
that
posted
all over there.
the first piece in it. It's actually a little girl blowing bubbles.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, so I just finished that painting. That's the first one in that series.
Wow, these flowers look
But-
fucked up.
It's what it is.
Okay, my attempt
but I'm gonna keep
to paint
doing
the big bamboo guy. It's not going
Oh.
so well, but
We're gonna give you some lessons, bro. We're gonna get you some lessons. but yeah, just it's a series of work. So it'll be what I focus on going forward. And I'm excited to start it and finish that first painting because it's huge. It's 9 feet wide. So um, I'm looking forward to doing more large pieces like that. So when you see them, like you instantly feel like that sense of happiness. It's in your face. You can't avoid it. Right? You're gonna see this image, and it hopefully takes you back to either having that same experience or remembering what it feels like to be in that environment, or to be around that. You know, similar to what I've already done in my work, except now it's all about the positivity. It's about changing the atmosphere that should be.
This is peach.
Oh, that's the little secret flavor.
Yeah, my daughter told me to. She's like, Mom, you have to try it. I'm like, okay.
I almost bought that yesterday.
It's peach.
I don't know how I feel about peach Coca-Cola.
Me neither. I'm gonna drink a little bit more just because I spent money on it.
you don't want to waste it.
there's a company trying some shit because they're making so much money they can't lose.
You know what?
They're just like, fuck it. We're gonna
maybe
put
I could-
anything out there.
I could chase it with some liquor.
It'll probably make a good drink.
Yeah.
So it is going to make a good
Add a little bourbon to it.
So that's a
You
peach
might
flavor,
have
I
something
like
like
peach
doing
snaps.
something.
Facts.
Yes. Peach snaps. Yes.
See, I know my drinks too, but it's
That is fucking beautiful.
Oh, you look up a painting.
Yeah, I'm cheating. I gave up already.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah. Y'all. Hold up. I want to start over. And I want to paint grapes.
So you guys see what I'm painting here. I figured I would stay on topic here.
I actually did really well in my art classes.
Yeah, I usually paint better than this. I'm just.
I didn't stick with it. I was too gung ho for the music.
I actually used to play music as a kid. I
Oh,
played the saxophone until what was it, from third to eighth grade. And then my music teacher put everything and asked me, and I decided, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to do music anymore.
were you in East Hartford too?
And I was in Manchester at that time.
Oh.
I was in middle school. I had a great music teacher up until eighth grade. I just didn't like the guy. I was like, I don't want to do this. But I was always good in the visual arts classes.
Yeah, I can see it paid off.
Yeah, a little bit. I learned a thing or two about a thing or two.
Definitely did. I believe it paid off. Yep, I'm good. Let me put this in the water.
I think of it. I enjoyed sculpting more when I took art classes.
It kicked you off.
Yo, sculpting kicked my ass.
Uh-oh. There we go.
I was not good at sculpting. I was surprised when I got a B minus in the class. But it was something I had to do. I was at UConn and I just couldn't grasp it. It wasn't for me.
See, sculpting and woodwork, that's
And, you know, I could see that. Drums and stuff. So,
and actually just a trade more so than magazines.
really?
I, so at the artist collective, they had the
It's funny is I usually don't paint well. Yeah,
Yeah, that is amazing.
I make my artwork sober because in the studio, if I'm high, I'm gonna be sitting there staring at the canvas, and that's it. I'll think about doing something.
And you'll have
Sit
all
there.
these great
I'm
ideas.
gonna have all the thoughts and not one movement. I'm just gonna sit there.
I've had those moments.
Yeah, yeah. So I learned pretty quickly that weed in the studio does not mix.
Not at all.
But okay.
Okay, covered up.
Turn off your sound.
We were just testing your hearing, bro. We want to make sure that you got all these gems we dropping.
Yes.
I don't even. Oh yeah, I was talking about being high in the studio. So yeah, take an L or something like that, and I'm in the studio. I'm just gonna sit and look at the canvas, and that's it. And I'll think all the thoughts, but there will be no action. Just thoughts and me staring and looking.
You'll have the best ideas.
Oh yeah, I do get some good ones, but
You'll have all the ideas.
just yeah, that's about as far as it goes.
I used to watch the Dawes film and get high, then try to make a beat after that because I was inspired by a Flying Lotus track I heard. Then I heard Flying Lotus do an interview. He said he don't make his songs inside, makes it sober. So he rolls some blunt and he vibes while listening to it, smoking. He listens to it high.
You know, that's
He
a
don't
great
make
way
it
to
high.
test your music, though, right? So if you're creating for a certain crowd,
Mhm.
you're testing it. You want to experience it in kind of the same way that that crowd is going to experience your work.
Mhm.
And if he enjoys it, if he can like approve of it
Mhm.
while he's under the influence or whatever, then he knows that his audience is, or he can have an idea that his audience is.
Bruno Mars works kind of the same way. When he's making an album, he plays it in the car, see if it sounds right.
Mm.
And for that, he says he's always done it in the same car, 2006 Cadillac.
I wonder why that car. I wonder what's special like about that car to him.
The size, premium sound system, older car. Majority of his audience is not going to drive something expensive.
Okay, okay.
Unlike Rick Ross, who listen to it in his Maybach.
Yeah, it's in the name, right?
I mean, a Cadillac is expensive, but 2006, and you make millions.
Yeah. Hmm.
Plus, it's a good way for a celebrity to stay low key.
Very true. Very true.
Mine keeps coming out.
I don't know. I might have a.
Actually,
I might have a future in doing cannabis themed painting. I'm kind of feeling how this ashtray is coming out right now.
I think what you have to do is keep a conversation up. Speaking. I mean, smoking.
Well, smoking.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
You think it does something for my ability to create?
Yeah, I think that's the only way to stay motivated on it.
So instead of like taking an edible or something, this is what I would normally do. Instead of doing like a gummy or something by myself, I need to have an audience.
Yeah.
It might be an interesting experiment.
Imagine sitting there painting a diaper while picking up baby names with your wife.
That could be fun. That could be fun. Although my child does have a name already. His fate has been sealed.
It's a junior?
Yeah, it's definitely a junior.
It's a boy?
It is a boy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she told me a long time ago that I can have a junior. And I decided I was going to hold her to it because, I mean, what dude doesn't want a junior, right? That's actually a big compliment for the woman in your life to tell you that they would name their child after you. So
yeah.
I'm super excited to be a dad, and this kid is going to have such a great village around him. I'm not worried about him. I think that it's going to be great. You know, I'm looking forward to fatherhood.
That is awesome. And it's at the right time because the baby formula shortage is over. So
thank God.
Yeah.
Because in a few months, we're gonna be looking for it. So.
Start stocking up now.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be fun though.
Yeah,
my oldest is in college now, her freshman year. I really miss her as a baby.
What school she at?
So she's at Southern now.
Oh, okay. Cool. A lot of people in the Southern. What's she studying?
Business management.
Nice.
So, and she listed one of her hobbies as activism, and I'm like, oops.
You did something right. You did something right.
Yeah, I never impose, I don't eat meat, but my kids do. So, with the exception of Christianity, because my religion tells me I need to indoctrinate my children, so I did.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think you're running out of fluid on this. Is there another lighter?
There should be another.
Ain't cutting it.
Let me see. I actually
I never like the other one because I'm like, you need to taste it and get my critique.
You say you got to give it a critique of weed. Well, let's do that. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so the L I was smoking first, that was mint truffles that I smoked. Now this other one that I just lit, this is like a THC herbal CBD blend.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a little bit euphoric, so that's what I like the euphoric. I like the truffles.
Okay.
I'm no weed expert. Ask me about beer and wine though.
This is the smoke break, sir. We shall speak of we shall not speak of such things.
THC infused beer.
I haven't had that before.
I've had that.
So I like now, like folks are infusing the THC and like regular shit, like salad dressing,
I actually
stuff like that.
did I bring my honey?
My sister makes a salad dressing.
So I'm gonna give you the information. I don't know if I gave you the flyer for Candace on the corner.
Yep.
But yeah, you need to come through.
Yeah, let's put that on the.
And I'll give you an extra for your sister because yeah. It's all about bringing the community together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ha!
Oh, you found it.
Yeah. I got one more somewhere.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Interesting drive home. So I ended up passing it when I first got down here.
Oh, how was it down here?
Wasn't really any traffic.
Yeah, because normally Assad drives because I hate driving.
And I love cars. I love driving. I love my car.
Good deal.
I only have one more stand.
I have yet to say hello and do my hello thing.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Well, we
it-
have 3 camera options.
Pick a camera.
Actually, I'm gonna be right in the middle because I got 2 right here back to back.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
So
guys doing?
tell us about Local Market LLC.
So basically, Local Market is an indoor small business park, but we also host the Puff campaign this Thursday. So tomorrow we're gonna have a lash event, and then we have a local lash business who's gonna be like, selling her products, and then also kind of like a but everyone's invited. Just come out, hang out. Basically, we want to set up is more of like a hangout spot where people get to feel more consciously open, that they can expand that sense of direction without having to feel stigmatized. So what does it mean? Well, just smoke and feel open with yourself and do that surrounding other people at the same time. And what that does is it just builds more of like a community of people who feel safer in their own skin. Slowly but surely, I mean, traditional, life has brought us into being the way that we are. Just because where we come from doesn't mean that dictates where we're going to be heading in life. So at the same time, who can be impacted in the process of where we're heading in that direction? So that's exactly why we opened up a local market for local vendors. And that's why we have a small CBD section, because we want to make sure that we give the whole store for everyone else. I'm Brian Valencia, pleasure to meet you guys. Much love, sending so much positivity and happiness. A lot of music.
Appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Local Market Wallingford. It's a nice spot. If the area, you gotta check it out. As a matter
He
of
does
fact,
parties now.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
matter of fact, you should come in the area and check it out.
That's what that ashtray was for.
That is freaking beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's considered yes, actually.
So
Germany.
yeah,
Show y'all a little progress here.
Okay, that's
There you
a first.
Yeah, so you guys
yeah, a viewer from Germany.
Oh, that's what's up.
What time is it in Germany?
I don't know.
Shit, what is it, 8 o'clock now? It's probably like 5 a.m., something like that. Well, maybe not. Maybe more like 3, 4, something like that.
So he commented, "I'm so drunk tonight, I'll shave my head smooth live and scream. If a woman smokes with me live and scream, silly face. Link please. Cheers from Germany. Beer mug."
Definitely sounds like he's not.
Yes.
Because I ain't understand that shit at all.
Okay, I'll go over to the English is the second language and he doesn't speak it often.
It must be.
And he doesn't know that the smoke break is a conversation. So,
He's drunk.
Just having a good time.
Yes.
Speaking of having a good time, I'm having a
Shout
good
out
time.
to Germany. I don't speak German, but I drive a
Assad.
German car.
Hi.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
I am stoned.
And this is the smoke break.
Yes.
I'm gonna take
So
a break.
how many?
Okay.
What's up?
Hold on.
Man, folks.
I'm sorry. I smoked two. I smoked two. I also smoked with- Yeah, you have a significant amount.
I smoke every day. I smoke all day. If it's professionally frowned upon, I smoke every day.
Yeah, speaking of, let's just go back to that. Respectability of, not respectability, but respectable politics around somebody who's a smoker or somebody who likes, who likes to have a good drink at the same time, right? Now, folks judge you just because you do something that literally most people do, but they don't talk about it, right? And then you go and you see the drugs that they take, and they have the to judge you or think something about who you are. Your upbringing may have been honestly has no time. Maybe
Yeah, I'm honestly been this is right now.
I remember just being around how my brother, for instance, for example. My brother is and he has this, and I love that fruitiness, that agency that he just so well, like we, yeah, but sometimes it looks and think you're, it shows that people themselves.
Yeah, we have test ones.
Curious to how are I feel like it's really because folks who are smokers. You hear all of this stuff about cannabis industry, cannabis being legal.
How many Republicans got into the industry?
How many are the same people, the judge, the same conservative?
Because we can continue this. It'd be like those same people, like I'm saying, those black people. But then, but yeah, like it's just interesting.
It's just interesting to see. It's really interesting to see.
There we go.
Jay-Z is in the cannabis business. Jay-Z doesn't smoke cannabis.
Nope. How do you feel about that? being in the industry, but you know, actually, like, I know what you're saying is, you know, something good.
I mean, more cigarette in their life.
I seriously doubt that are.
You know, yeah, they know what they sell at this point.
They got it.
Wendy from Wendy's knows what Wendy's tastes like. At least.
I don't know. I mean, I cook meat for my kids. I myself do not eat meat.
Something like that.
That's true. That's true.
Did he grow up that way though, or did he, you know, become Rastafarian? So he probably did used to eat meat. And like I'm saying, like you know what you know what you're supposed to say. So using those senses now to be able to cook this, you know, you eat it. Yeah.
Is he doing hilarious things? Jay-Z? No, Dinda.
Mostly doing
There we go. There we go.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
That is
We're back.
amazing, right?
Sorry, I'm late.
Yes.
But at the same time, if somebody allows you to start doing, then there's really
I don't know why I just thought about Tanea though, but I hope she's doing well. Amazing.
how can I make it work?
So
I haven't seen her in a while.
That's like
yeah, Tanea. So we went to the Big E together, and oh my god. So while we had a good time, it kept getting fucked up because there was a lot of colorism, and so when we went through the metal detectors, I had a purse accidentally brought in a knife, and I didn't know till after.
Oh shit.
But they didn't check my bag. But they were going through Tanea's fanny pack, and I'm like,
So I'll put this
yeah. So it was the same person too.
Treating it like TSA.
Yeah.
actually Sundays I do.
Last time I went to the game, I just remember all of the right wing
Actually, she came out. She came today earlier
That's
today.
the fucking worst when you go to the fairs and they have
Hey, I'm having fun. Confederate flag. We're in Massachusetts. Why are you saying Confederate flag?
Exactly.
$1.99 only cost me $1.
why the fuck do people fly it?
And then claiming it's their heritage. Like, how do you celebrate losers so much? I don't understand.
That part I don't get. They picked up arms against American soldiers, but they claim to be patriotic.
Other Southerners fought the Confederacy, so what are you saying?
It's crazy.
It's not about Southern pride.
Nah.
It's about a warped history.
I'm not buying that bullshit.
Civil Rights Act that passed.
Did you know that there was a Civil Rights Act in the 1800s? Though?
Yeah. I just found out about it from Kentucky.
I just learned about that, and I did not know that there was a Civil Rights Act passed in 1866.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like when I found out about it, I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they like.
I was watching some documentary and they were talking about it. And they were talking about how like Reconstruction actually worked and it scared people. And that's why things got to the point where they were with the KKK and
Woodrow Wilson
bringing everything back. Yeah. So the Reconstruction era was a time when we actually did thrive. Like we had a lot of people in politics and making laws and in leadership positions and stuff like that, owning their own businesses and thriving long before Black Wall Street.
So basically, where all of our products come from, they come from local farmers.
That is, I'm just watching this painting and it's amazing.
Coming alive.
It really is. I love
So
it.
when people buy from us, they help three companies at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm
The farmer and
fucking Supreme Court, but at least she's on it.
Talking about that Ketanji Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see that we have a black woman on the Supreme Court. It's long, long overdue.
It really is.
Oh yeah,
Thank
you
you.
did get
The right wing propaganda has been absolutely disgusting.
It absolutely has been.
But I guess they'll answer for that to the same God that they prayed to. So.
What is going on?
With what?
I'm so high I'm trying to form the words of the report off, but it's pertaining to the propaganda, how it's ramped up, and how it's even scaring other Republicans.
yes.
Because the winning strategy was playing on emotions. So they take small pieces of fact or something small and then blow it into something big, adding a lot of misinformation. If you fuck up my stand, did you need an ashtray?
The way you just switched up on him.
My bad.
You got into like mom mode, like you gave him the look. You mess
Yeah.
up my shit.
And now,
Yeah, he'll owe me a new stand.
so in this sense, you can buy and resell the coffee, and you would make profit.
Yeah, what is playing right now? Wow,
Yeah, the music in the back.
this music is crazy.
Yo, shut up.
What are we listening to?
I don't know.
In that sense,
So this is normally why we go for 30 minutes, but I want to see your
The most
painting.
entertaining bits happen at the end, though, so we can't always end at 30 minutes.
No, it's not that. It's I'm waiting for his painting because the shit is amazing. So do not
I'm
rush.
gonna wrap it up in a second. Just a few more details, y'all. Bear with me.
So this is what I've gotten so far.
The camera, yo, the camera.
I'm showing my audience both here and there.
Wow.
You are fucked up.
This is what it's supposed to be.
that's what they do. They do it all. They do it
Even
all.
smoking a raw. That always been too easy to paint.
I sold one night. Oh, you sold the Kirby. Oh, so I sold solar panels. Yeah, solar panels.
Kirby vacuum
Of course,
cleaners.
Yo, my daughter, they got her into one of them seminars, and then she thought she wasn't gonna get the job, and I'm like, yo, you're gonna get the job.
Everybody gets the job.
Yeah, so she's sitting there and she's like, one of my hobbies is activism. And I'm like, no, they don't give a fuck. Trust me, just put your name in there. They're gonna hire you.
You
So
applied, hired.
yeah, and then afterwards, I'm sitting there and she's like, aren't you excited? No, I'm sitting there like I had to come up with something quick because I'm like, everybody gets a fucking job and I don't want to like crush your dreams. So I'm like, because I already knew what your abilities were. Which I did, but everybody gets a job and the qualifications were have a pulse and speak English, which slam dunk my daughter could do it.
Did you spell your first name right? You're hired.
The person that's going to install the panels on your house
So how was the CDB?
is going to install the person
I don't think I smoked the CBD.
You haven't yet.
Yeah.
So tell me
I
about it.
got the what was it, mint something that you said?
Can you tell us the review on it?
I'll put it to you.
Floral. There's definitely some other herbs and smoking herbs in here. The bag is good.
It's just what they do as far as like after the 10 year old.
It's not very high in terpenes. As far as taste is pleasant.
You're paying what's going to happen is they're going to offset.
And this is from Quality versus Quantity CDB.
The XL is very clear. This is a much of sit back and listen to jazz too. This is sophisticated pre-roll.
But in that sense, I would give my customers 110%.
Sophisticated.
In that sense, in the summer, you're going to use more electricity, or if you have electric heating, you're going to use more electricity. So, in that time, if they would use more electricity, I would give them a little extra power. So
We should go down with some tea.
that bill never.
I can see that, kind of like Lynn's Blends. Lynn's Blends, and I have Sleepy Time tea here, so I'll be drinking that tonight with divinely infused honey. Definitely. The thing is, though, divinely infused, they just did a show, or Tiana Hercules, city councilwoman. Absolutely love her. Hell of a natural.
She's cool people.
She really is.
Her on occasion.
So, her story is very inspirational. Her family's story, and the way she just sat there, she was like, "I'm gonna go to law school." She decided to make a difference. I'm gonna say that I really hope that there's more highlights of Tiana, just because she's representation that is really needed. So.
And I don't know of any other black people right now who are working.
You're right. The lottery is actually really fun. So I felt robbed when I think the applicant, somebody in the hood who gets a license and gets to go legitimate, a legacy dealer, someone who went to prison for selling nicks and dimes. I don't think of into Massachusetts becoming into Connecticut. I don't think about the mayor of Stamford getting a social equity application or a social equity license.
The mayor of Stamford?
The mayor of Stamford.
Wow.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Former head of DCP, a white man from Wallingford. So Tiana actually got hers, but it was a lottery of about 40. So I think she got lucky that she entered that lottery and switched, because she originally wanted a dispensary. So she talked about it on her show. And I've got to say, it's nice to see that at least one person who deserved it got it. But it's really messed up that a lot of other people didn't deserve it. And
I think that's kind of, how many systems are there that are designed for, one group to do better than the other, right? It's just common. It's going to happen. We kind of knew this, but the amount of money that folks have to pour into, that folks have to pour. We lost the video, y'all. That folks have to pour into trying to get this business started. Like, most of the people who would benefit from that, what you said, what was the term that you used for the
social equity?
The social equity, right? The social equity beneficiaries in this, the real ones who should get it from it, they're not even going to have that kind of money. Most of them won't have access to that level of funds in order to even apply.
Yeah. So
So how equitable is it really?
It isn't.
There was a big pushback when Robin Porter's bill came out of committee. Mm-hmm. So it was Jason Ortiz who really was the push for everything that happened. He actually, I'm not supposed to disclose that. However, he was a very...
Don't get yourself sued.
Oh, no, he won't sue me. But Jason Ortiz was like, he's the one who made a lot of connections and introduced a lot of people. So he introduced us to the Canna Warriors, which is how everything went down. Jason Ortiz right now has a open letter to Biden for pardoning people, but at that time we were fighting for HB 6377, and it was actually, we had an entire tax structure. So legacy vendors could have easily moved into a dispensary type market or mobile vendors and everything else. And it's very sad to see that Governor Lamont especially pushed against it with his own bill. So something to think about. There was a combined bill that was there was a combined bill that was introduced afterwards, but
Got a long way to go with this. A long way to go with this. So I think this piece is done. Sure.
that is beautiful.
I did a thing, yo. I need something to sign it with. Is there like a pen? Thank you.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Y'all take care. It's been Getting High with Dress and Love. And we'll see you next week.